So last year I meet this cute guy and we exchanged numbers and said, why don't we go to the beach, I'll grab us a couple sandwiches. We meet up on the beach and just immediately jump into this awesome conversation about like life and Oprah, which is all flirting to me, but I realized it might not be for him, so I start testing it out. This was not a date. And so I realized, all right, this might not be love, but he got himself some free therapy, all for the cost of 2 sandwiches, and I also got an idea for a show.
All right, Peter, hi.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
What sandwiches did you bring for us today?
I brought us some meatball sandwiches, nice
Yes.
and warm.
Yes.
Do you like them?
Meatball sandwiches? Who doesn't love meatball sandwiches?
Come on, right? You're from the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
Mmm.
I love a meatball. I mean, you brought the meat, so I'll bring this. I'll bring the support. Like, what's going on?
Thank you so much. So, obviously, I live in LA.
Yep.
And, you know, I live on Instagram like we all do. And I've been having a lot of trouble trying to like not equate my friend's success to my failure. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
I do.
I want to be happy for people, and I genuinely am when I see people living their best lives on Instagram or like, look at what I'm doing, blah, blah, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool. But it also pairs with this like feeling of like, well, I'm not, what am I doing? You know, like, I'm not doing enough, you know?
Yeah.
So that's been something I've been dealing with lately.
Totally. I think just kind of in general, that's so relatable, right? Because it's like, it's so easy to just compare ourselves to whatever it is that we're seeing getting projected out by other people. You know what I mean? And one of my favorite quotes is, don't compare your behind the scenes to other people's highlight reel.
Oh, wow.
You know, because it's easy to do that.
That's a good one. Say it one more time.
Don't compare your behind the scenes to somebody else's highlight reel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, because it's like, I mean, you know that when you're kind of putting out pictures or you're posting whatever it is, you're kind of projecting the best version of yourself, but that's not entirely who you are, right? It's kind of like the highlight. And then to you, you also know the other shit. You know the stuff that's going on kind of behind the scenes, and it can just feel really messy. And so then we easily compare that to other people's just their highlight reel, just their projections. So, you know, you could see somebody, you know, kind of posting whatever successes they're having professionally, but you also kind of don't know like how they might be kind of spinning or
sometimes it makes me happy to watch my friends like, I won an Emmy, you know, like one of those things, and then like imagine how bad the after party was. Yeah. And maybe they ate some like bad shrimp. You know what I'm saying? And then they had diarrhea the whole night. Sure, they won an Emmy, but
was it worth it?
Probably.
Right.
I do worse.
But that's one coping strategy, right?
Is that healthy?
I think that it's incredibly human for us to kind of like spin and not feel good enough, especially when we're comparing ourselves to other people, and kind of what we do with that matters for us. You know, like obviously we want to be able to just kind of tap into a different, more positive sense of like our own worth. You know,
how do we do that?
Well, I mean, instead of having to kind of like wish shit on other people or that they're not doing well, which I think again is human and relatable.
Like I'm driven by vengeance at all times. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, but let me ask you. So if it's kind of a vengeful perspective or approach to things, what do you think that's doing for you?
I think it creates a meaning around it, as opposed to like it helps me avoid feeling sad. Yeah. So I replace it with anger.
Okay. I mean, that's actually pretty common. So because we call anger a secondary emotion, because underneath it is usually more vulnerable one, like hurt, sad, fear, that kind of stuff. So it's easy to just kind of jump to like, fuck them. Yeah. But it's also really defensive. So like when we're doing that, when that's our approach to things, without realizing it, what we're doing then is reinforcing that there's something wrong with us. So if it's like, I have to get defensive, or I have to, you know, kind of wish you that, you know, you're getting, you know, Montezuma's revenge or something after the Emmys party, that all that's doing for me is just telling myself like, yeah, you have to like kind of wish to take them down because I don't think that I'm worthy of being lifted up.
Wow.
So it reinforces that kind of thinking for us.
I definitely had this moment in high school where I was like, I don't want to be fazed by anyone. Yeah. Fuck this. Yep. And then because I also do comedy and I'm on stage all the time, that really helps with the stage, because it's all about confidence. It's all about like feigned confidence or whatever it is. You bring that up. So I got really good at it, and now it's just like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way where I could walk into rooms and be humble and vulnerable.
Totally.
Without feeling like the world's gonna end. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I totally, because what you're talking about for comedy for you has been therapy for me. That my defense in life, to kind of not feeling like safe or okay, has been to try and over-examine everything so that I can, like, I know what to do with it, or I can even move some of the pieces around.
Yeah.
But the way for me that's been helpful has just been just truly being aware of it and being aware of, because you know what it feels like, the energy that you're kind of putting it out, you puff your chest up, whatever, and to really just kind of sink into myself and meet people kind of at an even plane, and reminding myself that I'm imperfect too and that that's okay, and to be able to show up in that way. Because when I do that, I know, when I do that, it actually, again, just kind of liberates me and actually legitimately makes me feel stronger in myself because of the messiness, not, you know, aside from it.
Yeah. Damn. Let me ask you something.
Yes.
Are you ever mean to people?
Yes.
When?
My biggest triggers are when I feel like people are blaming me. When I feel like people are not taking accountability for their own stuff and they're blaming me. And, you know, kind of my own like woundedness gets the better of me, and I'll clap back. You know, if I'm being honest about it, yeah, I can be mean.
I'm mean all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Okay. Mean feels safe.
Me and my family, we grew up being very frank with each other, and just like no nonsense calling shit out. Not a lot of emotional support.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So like, I bring that out to my friends and whoever I'm around, and my humor is very mean. Like, where I'm not making fun of you, but I'm saying something that no one else is saying.
Yeah.
Just because I can't stand it not being said.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, also, that was your family, right? Like, that was the culture of your family.
Yeah.
And so when you're doing that, there's also a part of it that's just like, well, this is like what I do, you know? Like, this is how I actually kind of, in some way, actually show affection.
That's exactly how I show affection, is by roasting people.
Totally, yeah. Because that's the culture that you came from.
Because
right?
I think what it is when I roast people, or I'm being, quote, mean, you know?
Yeah.
Calling out the truths that no one will acknowledge.
Yeah.
It feels like there is an undercurrent of love already.
I think there's some balance maybe to just experiment with, which is to be able to honor that this is who you are, and this is the culture that you come from, right? Like, of your family, so you know what the intention is behind it. And at the same time to maybe be aware of some parts of it that might feel defensive, or even just hearing other people that it might not work for everybody, and maybe some minor adjustments can kind of be made without losing the integrity of who you are or your message, your intention.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know, I mean, like...
That's great.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It's very hard, but it's a practice. All of this is a practice. There's no final solution or answer to anything. All of it is just kind of being more mindful of some of this stuff and consciously making some decisions. That way you can keep practicing in a way that comes a little bit more from love and a lot less from fear.
If it feels uncomfortable, just do it. Do the opposite of what you normally do.
Yes! You got it. All right. Well, I mean, you pulled the themes together, so what do you think? Is this a good time to dance?
Let's dance.
Let's do it.
All right.